Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for being with us. We also have with us this morning the representative of the executive chairman of Yalim Press, Mr. Alaji Yaya Amfani, ably represented this morning by the marketing manager, Southern region of the company, Precious Eju. Let's put down together for Precious. Thank you. Thank you, Precious, for showing up. I have a lot of lists here, but let me quickly recognize the presence of the special guest of honor, Honorable Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Lagos State, Honorable Gbenga Motosho, ably represented this morning by Mrs. Remilekun Oladende, Deputy Director of Public Affairs there. Thank you. All right. We also have with us this morning the representative of the General Manager, Lagos State Printing Corporation, Adalausa, here this morning, Honorable Kayode Tinubu. He is a special advisor on legal matter to the General Manager. Let's put down together for Honorable Kayode. Thank you, sir. Thank you. You know, anytime I hear that name, Tinubu, my heart leaps for joy. You understand the reason. All right. Thank you so much. All right. Please permit me to do other recognitions much later, but we need to proceed to what is next, which is to have the opening remarks of the #1 citizen of the chamber, our father, Mr. Gabriel Idahosa, FC. Let's put down together for the president. Thank you, sir. Please, let's keep clapping for the president until he comes here, please. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
The Vice President of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry and Chairman of BEST, Princess Layo Okeowo, the Chairman of our host group, Mr. Gabriel Okonkwo. There are a couple of leaders. I can see some of our leaders from other sections of LCCI, Director General. It's a great pleasure to welcome all of you to this very, very topical seminar on Nigerian printing industry, unlocking opportunities, overcoming challenges. It is both timely as it is strategic, as we collectively seek to reposition a vital pillar of our nation's creative and manufacturing economy. This industry, printing and publishing, is much more than ink on paper. It is a foundation for knowledge dissemination, for cultural preservation, and for industrial development. From textbooks that educate our children to packaging that drives our consumer industries, to security documents that support governance, printing remains central to our national progress. Yet the industry faces significant headwinds, including foreign exchange volatility, high production costs, material import dependency, policy inconsistencies, and the pressures of digital disruption. Despite these challenges, the resilience, creativity, and potential of this sector remains undeniable. At some point, some people thought printing will disappear from the world because of the digital space. But globally, printing remains a multi-trillion-dollar enterprise that supports education, publishing, advertising, and packaging. In Nigeria, conservative estimates place its contribution at over 300 billion annually, employing hundreds of thousands directly and indirectly. It's a strategic enabler of literacy, innovation, and entrepreneurship. Every thriving economy understands that a robust printing ecosystem amplifies education, supports SMEs, and drives industrialization. Therefore, today's dialogue is not just about commerce. It's about development, competitiveness, and the future of our national identity. To unlock the full potential of Nigeria's printing industry, we need to adopt a multidimensional approach that focuses on localization, innovation, and human capacity development, and sustainability and policy alignment. So we must embrace true value creation and true local value creation. At this point, Nigeria is estimated to import over 80% of its printing materials, including paper, inks, and plates, a situation that you, the players in the industry, we want to change as soon as possible. Reviving local paper mills and building new ones will not only reduce our dependency on imports, but also generate jobs and strengthen the value chain of the industry locally. More importantly, the direction the world is rushing towards is innovation, it is digital, and it's sustainable printing. Opportunities abound in 3D printing, personalized packaging, digital publishing, and print-on-demand platforms. Entrepreneurs who combine technology with traditional craftsmanship will define the next generation of growth in the industry. The Chamber encourages our young innovators to see print as a tech-driven field, an intersection of design, creativity, and automation. Equally important in this conversation is regional expansion. Nigeria has the capacity to become the printing hub of West Africa. With the African Continental Free Trade Area in full operation, we can export books, labels, and packaging solutions to our neighbors because we have the critical mass to produce at scale, at lower costs, and become a supply center to West and Central Africa. And that is why it's important that this effort will be built on adherence to standards, product quality, and targeted, as we will always want to pursue, government export incentives. Furthermore, we have to embrace sustainability. The global market now rewards environmental responsibility. By investing in eco-friendly inks, recyclable papers, and energy-efficient machines, Nigerian printers can attract foreign partnerships and become part of a global green value chain. Sustainability in any industry, including printing, is no longer optional. It is the new benchmark for competitiveness. However, these opportunities can only materialize if we tackle existing challenges head-on. The high cost of production, driven by energy, tariffs, and foreign exchange scarcity, has stifled growth in the industry. We urge government to prioritize the printing sector in its foreign exchange allocations where possible, and review import duties on essential materials required in the industry, including machinery and consumables. We must also address infrastructure gaps, particularly power, and then roads and logistics, to make production more efficient and much more cost-effective. Access to finance remains another major hurdle, and the LCCI will continue to advocate for targeted financing through institutions such as the Bank of Industry, Nexim Bank, offering single-digit interest loans to MSMEs in the printing and publishing sector. Piracy and intellectual property violations must also be tackled decisively and to be seen to be tackled decisively to protect innovation, creativity, and investor confidence. We call for more vigorous enforcement and adoption of digital protection tools by publishers and printers alike. Policy coherence is also very important and crucial to this sector. The printing sector is influenced by multiple industries, both in the federal and state governments. Multiple ministries, the Ministry of Industry, Education, Information, Finance, all of this have one thing to do with this industry. And we must ensure alignment to support growth. So we don't have one ministry moving to the right and another set of ministries and agencies moving to the left as far as the printing industry is concerned. The LCCI will continue to act as a strong advocate for consistent policies, business-friendly reforms, and a competitive local printing ecosystem. This transformation requires collective effort. The government must provide the right environment. The private sector must invest in innovation and standards. Academia must bridge the skills gap, and the LCCI will be part of that important bridge connecting ideas to action and stakeholders to shared prosperity. Let us imagine a future where Nigerian paper mills are revived, our SMEs produce export quality packaging, our universities print their own textbooks in country, our youth thrive in 3D and digital printing, and our industry becomes a regional leader in exports. This vision is attainable if we act together with clarity, the right strategies, and commitment. Distinguished guests, the printing industry sits at the intersection of education, communication, and commerce. On behalf of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, I assure you, not just the people in the industry, but also the consumers of your products who are also here, of our continued partnership and advocacy in building a stronger, more competitive, and future-ready Nigerian printing industry. I thank you for your attention.
Please once again join me in as we put your hands together for Mr. President. Thank you so much, sir, Thank you so much for that beautiful opening remarks, sir. With that, we know that today is set. The event is clearly set on a successful path. But just before we have our keynote address from the keynote speaker, let's hear from a welcome address. I mean, bringing all of us to a settled table from the chairman of the Printing and Publishing Allied Group here at Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry. A brother and leader, father, and a strong voice in the printing industry in Nigeria. Put your hands together for Mr. Gabriel Okonkwo.
Good morning once again, everybody. My name is Gabriel Okonkwo. I'm a printer and also a member of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry. So I happen to be the managing director of Superflux International Limited, and also the chairman of the Printing, Publishing and Allied Group of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry. So I want to formally welcome us to this event and thank each and every one of you that have found time to honor our invitation. Thank you so very much. So let me start. The president and chairman of Council, Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, my namesake, Gabriel Idausa, our distinguished keynote speaker, Alhaji Yahya Amfani, chairman, CEO, Yellen Press, my very good friend, ably represented here by Precious Iju. I want to thank you so much for coming. Our special guest of honor, Honorable Gbenga Omotosho, Honorable Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Lagos State, ably represented by Mrs. Seremilekun Oladeinde, the Managing Director of the Bank of Industry, ably represented by Dr. Olashupo Ulusi. Esteemed members of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, I must not fail to mention Princess Bakari Okeowo. In fact, I took over from her as the chairman of the Printing and Publishing Group. She's been a pillar of support to our group and a very strong member of Lagos Chamber of Commerce Industry. Madam, thank you very much for your support. Good morning and welcome to the 2025 LCC Printing, Publishing and Allied Group Seminar. It gives me great pleasure on behalf of the Printing, Publishing and Allied Group to welcome you to this important gathering of leaders and stakeholders across Nigeria's print and publishing value chain. What we tried to do was not to limit this event to Lagos. We brought in printers from across the country, especially Abuja, because I did told them that what we're discussing today, cut across a geographical zone. And I'm glad to have a lot of them flying in from Abuja on that part of the country to support us on the event. Before I finish this, I'll be mentioning one or two of them. At the background contest, our theme this year, Nigeria's printing industry, unlocking opportunities, overcoming challenges, speaks to both the promise and the pressure facing our industry today. Nigeria's printing and publishing ecosystem, which spans security printing, commercial printing, publishing, packaging, paper production, equipment and consumables supply, maintenance and allied services, remains one of the most diverse and impactful creative industry in Africa. Globally, the printing industry is valued at over $750 billion, employing more than 3 million people across different value chains. In Africa, the market is estimated at over $10 billion, with Nigeria contributing between $800 million to about $1 billion annually, largely driven by packaging, commercial, and publishing print. Every book printed locally, every label produced for a local FMCG brand, and every publication or government document printed in Nigeria contributes to the national GDP, supports the Naira, and sustains livelihood. However, our industries still battles major constraints. One of them is import dependency. Over 80% of printing inputs, including paper, inks, plates, are imported, exposing us to currency shocks, financing gaps. Access to affordable credit and equipment leasing remains a serious challenge. Weak local patronage. Many corporate and government contracts still go offshore. And also we have lack of integration. The absence of synergy across the value chain, from research to paper mills to printers weakens competitiveness. Yet within these challenges lie enormous opportunities. Nigeria's population of over 220 million, its expanding education sector, the rise of packaging for over 7 trillion worth of FMCG goods annually, and increasing digital publishing demands all point to the publishing demands all point to a market ready for transformation. Our gathering today is to confront this reality, to design actionable strategies that will strengthen and reposition our industry and chart a collective roadmap towards reclaiming Nigeria's print economy. Our conversation today will feed into a position paper to be presented to relevant government agencies, ensuring that this seminar moves beyond talk into tangible outcomes. Permit me to express sincere appreciation to the President of the Council of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry for their continued guidance and institutional support. Our keynote speaker, Alhaji Yahaya Amfani, whose leadership in the printing industry has been exemplary. Our guest speaker, our guest of honor, Honorable Gbenga Omotosho, and all distinguished guests here present, the Managing Director of Bank of Industry, and other distinguished panelists representing government, finance, industry, who will be addressing critical issues of policy, investments, and collaboration. Our sponsor partners and members of the organizing committee whose hard work has made this seminar possible. I want to especially thank the sponsors of this event, Marvelous Mike, who's the managing director, is presented here by my friend Kunle Fashalu. My very good friend who will never say no to him whenever I call him, Ademola Kasum, the managing director of CAS. He flew all the way from Abuja this morning. In fact, yesterday, when I was pleading with him to come, we were in Ado-Ekiti last weekend, and he said, Oga, I just came back. Oh. How am I going to leave my wife? He said, okay, let me come and lobby my wife to release me to come. So I'm glad that you're here today and for your support. I also want to thank the management of NIXIM for being part of the sponsor of this event. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. In conclusion, as we proceed to today's presentations and panel sessions, I encourage you to engage actively, ask questions, challenge assumptions, and share insights. Together, let us share a printing and publishing sector that is innovative, competitive, and sustainable, one that supports education, drives manufacturing, and increases the GDP of the Nigerian economy. Thank you once again. Welcome to the 2025 SCCI Printing, Publishing, and Allied Group seminar. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Gabriel. Let's put hands together for our chair. Thank you so much. With the opening and welcome remarks out, we then need to get back down to today's main business, which is to first have the keynote address to be delivered by the chair and CEO of Yalam Press, ably represented today here by our sister, of course, very able, also Precious Heju. Thereafter, we'll have the special guest of honors remark, then we'll move to other things, including the panel session for the day. Please join me as we welcome our sister, Precious Heju, Marketing Manager, Southern Region of Yalam Press. Please, let's clap for her, please.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Standing on existing protocol, I'd like to introduce myself again. My name is Precious Heju, Marketing Manager, Yalam Press Limited, Abuja. Here representing my Executive Chairman, Yahaya Amfani. Please, before I proceed, I would like to apologize on behalf of my Executive Chairman, who really wishes to be here with us today, but couldn't make it due to issues of national importance. His sincere apologies. Please note that during my speech, whenever I say I'm referring to my Executive Chairman, Yahaya Amfani. Thank you. Today, I'll be speaking on unlocking Nigerians' printing publishing potential, policy pathways, and financial solutions. I am honored to address this gathering as the keynote speaker to discuss the future of a sector that has been one of the cornerstones of our economy and a reflection of our creativity and innovation, the printing and publishing industry. I commend the initiative of the Printing, Publishing, and Allied PPA Group of Lagos State Chamber of Commerce and Industry for convening this important seminar and bringing together stakeholders across the print value chain to chart the way forward for the printing and publishing industry. Nigeria's printing and publishing industry holds enormous cultural and economic potential, from job creation, educational access, keeping confidential sensitive information within the country, saving our country hard-earned forex, to exportable creative content, among others. It has produced some of Africa's most renowned authors, books, and publications, yet the sector remains underutilized due to high production costs, inadequate and outdated infrastructure, limited access to affordable financing, lack of unity among Nigerian printers, weak enforcement of intellectual property rights, weak policy alignment, among others. Unfortunately, We import all that we use to produce and export the jobs that should be retained to engage our capacity, thereby weakening our capacity for national identity and self-reliance. Revitalizing this sector, we mean to strengthen the knowledge economy, reduce import dependence, tap into resource potentials, and empower Nigerians' creative workforce. The Nigerian First Economic Policy of His Excellency, President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, aimed at prioritizing locally manufactured goods and services in government procurements, marked a significant milestone in promoting our nation's industrial growth and economic development. The two former presidents of Chartered Institute of Professional Printers of Nigeria, CIPON, namely late Mohammed Aderemi Lawal and Gbemisola Malomo, had campaigned vigorously for this policy to be implemented without much success. However, about 2 years ago, few government agencies gave Nigerian printers a trial on jobs that were all printed abroad before and got 100% satisfaction in terms of our capacity and positive outcomes. The efficacy brought about a welcome development, which we pray would enjoy the full implementation by all the relevant government bodies. Today, I will make 3 link points. Firstly, why investing in our printing and publishing ecosystem matters. Secondly, the policy pathways that will remove structural barriers and create an enabling environment. And thirdly, the financial solutions that will fund the transformation. Number 1, why investing in the printing and publishing sector matters. Nigeria has talents, creativity, and the market to lead Africa in printing and publishing. Yet, we still import most of our books, papers, and other school materials. This means we export the real jobs outside our shores and import solutions that we could produce at home. Reviving this sector will create thousands of jobs across the value chain, from pre-press to logistics, reduce textbook and educational material costs, enable our writers, designers, and illustrators to earn globally from Nigerian stories, save our country hard-earned forex. Number 2, policy pathways will remove structural barriers and create an enabling environment. To achieve results, we must fix the system, not just parts of it. A, recognize printing and publishing as an industry. Include printing and publishing formally in national industrial policy so it can access incentives, trade support, and training programs. Reform tariffs and taxes. Reduce duties on major material inputs, and especially paper, ink, and machinery to near zero. Set policies that offer tax breaks, grants, and subsidies to stimulate growth. C, protect intellectual property. A strong copyright regime and clear digital publishing rules will protect creators and attract investors. D, build skills. Equip training institutions that offer printing technology with state-of-the-art equipment, as well as update their curricula to enable the teaching of modern methods that includes digital printing, pre-press, press, post-press, design, rights management, and business enterprise skills. E, promote local content. Encourage the production and use of locally produced printing materials. F, foster industry collaboration. Facilitate partnerships between industry stakeholders, government, and financial institutions. Then number 3, financial solutions. Policy open doors while finance helps business work through them. A, creates a printing and publishing growth fund. Governments, development partners, and financial institutions to provide equipment loans and working capital at lower interest rates. B, promote equipment leasing and invoicing financing. Many printers find it difficult to buy new or used presses outrightly. Leasing and receivable financing will keep them running. C, support cooperatives and digital platforms. Printers and publishers, in conjunction with United and Strong Chartered Institute of Professional Printers of Nigeria, SIPON, can form cooperatives to negotiate lower prices or printing materials, pull credit, and sell online. D, encourage grants for creative content. Targeted grants for local language books, children's literature, and digital publishing will grow intellectual property. Now the way forward. To chart the way forward, I recommend the following. First and foremost, the unity of the Chartered Institute of Professional Printers of Nigeria, SIPON, being the body governing the printing industry, is of paramount importance. I call on my fellow colleagues in the printing industry to set aside individual interests, be constructive in criticism, and unite under a single body that fosters positive outcomes. Collaborate and partner with the government to ensure the full implementation of government policies and initiatives relating to the growth of print business in Nigeria. Banks and fintechs to design a pilot program that tests equipment leasing, invoice financing, and local content grants. The recent Nigerian First Economic Policy initiated by His Excellency President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, which clearly says that anything that can be produced in Nigeria should not be imported, is a welcome development, but needs strict implementation by all the relevant government enforcement agencies in conjunction with SIPON in matters relating to printing and publishing. Across ministry task force, bringing together industry stakeholders, finance and education sectors to coordinate and develop a national printing and publishing policy that will guide industry growth and development, as well as funding that will provide accessible financing options and technical assistance. Polytechnics and universities should align education and technical training with global best practices and emerging technologies, while civil society should safeguard inclusive access and language diversity. Measure outcomes, job creation, reduce import costs, and improve local content capacity. Reduce duties on printing machineries and consumable. Offer tax breaks and subsidies to stimulate growth. Invest in infrastructure. Printing needs steady power, water, and the transport. Industrial clusters with reliable utilities can cut costs and boost competitiveness and good productivity. Conclusion. In conclusion, unlocking Nigeria's printing and publishing potentials require collaborative efforts. I will first of all call on Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation, being the body responsible for the supervision of SIPON, to play active role in bringing the Nigeria printers together. Secondly, I call on two SIPON factors to make sacrifices by withdrawing all court cases and agree to dialogue so that we can have one united and strong SIPON that will make government to listen to us and give us all the necessary support. Furthermore, I urge policymakers, industry stakeholders, and financial institutions to show interest and work together to support the policies, implementation, and strategies, as well as come up with financial solutions that will drive growth, create jobs, and promote our cultural heritage. Remember, when we print locally, we build knowledge, preserve culture, save scarce foreign currency, save sensitive security documents of our nation, and power Nigeria's creative future. When we make it easier and cheaper to produce Nigerian books, we strengthen education, create jobs, and export our culture. Now, we should bury our hatchets and let us act with urgency, commitment, and collaboration. Together, we can build a system where every page printed in Nigeria tells a story of economic resilience and national confidence. I wish you fruitful deliberations. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for a good representation of the chairman and CEO of Yalin Press. Thank you, ma, so much. I had always said that in my lifetime, and I believe in the lifetime of most of us, we will have a woman president in Nigeria. Do you believe that with me? People don't. Do you believe that with me? It's only this man. Okay, and the chairman has joined that in his lifetime we have a woman president. Maybe if we do have a woman president, then we'll be very productive. As you agree with me that women are very productive, very, very productive with a lot of softwares. My belief is that this country can be led by a woman to a great part of progress. And in our lifetime, that will happen. Once again, let's put hands together for Precious for doing a good job. All right, I like to quickly do some few recognitions of some of our leaders that I just have your list here. We have with us this morning the past president of CIPRON, Mr. Olugbenga Malomo. Fortunately, he's the moderator here today. Let's put hands together for Mr. Malomo. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Benga. Just as the name is, I know you are not leaving us now. You are here. And you are here for good. All right, thank you so much. All right. We also have with us the current president of CIPRON, Comrade Jide Salako. Let's put hands together for Comrade. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. My comrade is looking very comrade. Thank you. Also with us, we have the Ogata Kwata at the Academic Press, the MD of Academic Press, Mr. Olugbenga Ladipo. Let's put hands together for. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. I have one of your, maybe she's your staff. Her name is Tony Lao. She's a friend of mine. I think she said she's with Academic Press. I saw her somewhere here. Okay, yes, Tony is here. Tony, thank you so much, my professional colleague, for being here today. I'm told we have, even though there's a tea break, but you won't completely abandon me here on the stage and go for the tea. So you can take maybe a seat at a time, go there, take your tea break, take your tea and come back to your table while we move on to what is next. Do we have the representative of Honorable Commissioner here present now? Taye? Okay, not yet. So we'll move to what is next, which is the special remarks by a special person who is the Managing Director and CEO of FAE. This FAE woman is so unique to us at the chamber for many reasons. Today is not a day of tribute, but just to mention that she is the vice president here at the chamber, a very committed member of the chamber, I must confess. She handed over to the current chairperson of the group, which I believe Mr. Gabriel is moving the group fast forward. Also, she is the chairperson of Best Business Education Service Training of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And currently, she is the chairperson of the Black Friday campaign of the Lagos International Trade Fair. You discover that she's a woman of many parts, full of strength. Please put your hands together for our sister, our leader, Princess Funlayo Bakari Okeowo. Thank you, ma.
Thank you very much. Well, I'll still have to recognize my leader, the president, chairman in council, Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, the chairman of the Printing and Publishing Group, my dear friend, Mr. Gabriel Okonkwo. Our leaders in the printing industry, I don't want to repeat names, but I recognize you all. And is the representative of Nixon Paper Mill here? Can you stand up for recognition? Because they should be here. They are the partners of everybody. Now I go to my remark. The printing industry remains a critical pillar in our national development, enabling education, communication, branding, packaging, and creative expression across multiple sectors. However, we are all aware that this vital industry faces significant headwinds, raising production costs, forex fluctuation, high import duties on printing materials, energy constraints, and the rapid pace of digital disruption. Yet within this challenge lies opportunities for innovation and transformation. As the largest chamber, Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry in the Sub-Sahara, the LCCI recognizes the immense potential of the printing and publishing sector to contribute to employment, industrial goods, and export diversification. We therefore urge stakeholders to embrace technology-driven solutions, skills development, and strategic partnership that would reposition the industry for the digital economy. At the Chamber, we remain committed to advocacy, engaging government on policies that promote local production, support SMEs, and ease the cost of doing business. We will continue to push for reforms that enhance access to finance, stable power supply, and infrastructural support necessary for the growth of creative and industrial enterprise such as yours. Let me commend the leadership of the Printing, Publishing, and Allied Group of LCCI for its consistency in driving dialogue, professional excellence, and innovation. Your contribution to the Chamber's mission and to the Nigerian economy development are deeply valued. As we deliberate here today, I encourage all participants to think beyond the present constraint and employ the emerging opportunities in packaging, digital printing, content creation, and eco-friendly production practice. The future of printing is bright for those prepared to adopt, collaborate, and innovate. I wish you fruitful discussion and renewed inspiration as you continue to build a vibrant, resilient, and global competitive printing industry in Nigeria. Thank you and God bless. Dixon Paper Mill, you are our major partners. You should be with us. I think you should recognize.
Who is the person? Okay, thank you so much. Please let me get his details for proper recognition. I don't have his name, the name of the company here. We need to do that. I agree. Thank you so much. Please let's put them together for Princess Funlayo Okeowo for that challenge that she has given to us. So we are moving very fast. I'm told we have the Marvelous Mike Press Limited to make a presentation. I think video of about 3-5 minutes, I'm told. But I'm also told that the representative will also come up to speak into the video in about 2-3 minutes. Just to also mention that we have exhibition outside. So don't forget that you also need to go outside and see what we have sponsors exhibit at the outside this hall. So please permit me to bring up stage. Please, technical team, do we have the video ready? Thank you. Permit me to bring up stage Dikin Kunle Fasanu, who is the director at Marvelous Mike Press Limited, Abuja, FCT. Put your hands together for Dikin, please. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, MC. Well, I'm enthralled right from the speech of the presidents and all the addresses from these bits. One thing is common. So much in printing, so much being shipped out. And there's no more auspicious time than now to unlock the opportunities in this scheme. So shortly, you will see the presentation from Marvelous Mike Press, Abuja, who we are, and what we do to support Nigeria printing economy. Thank you. Please. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Once again, please let's put our hands together for Marvelous Mind Press Limited. Thank you. Thank you. Earlier in the day, we recognized the fact that we will have the Honorable Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Lagos State, with us today, Mr. Honorable Gbenga Omotosho. I'm happy to announce to us that we now have with us the representative of the Honorable Commissioner, Honorable Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Lagos State. Please put your hands together for our sister, Mrs. Remilekun Oladende, Deputy Director of Public Affairs of the Ministry. Let's put our hands together for her. Thank you, ma'am. With that opportunity, let's bring her up stage for our goodwill message. Please, let's put our hands together for her. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed stakeholders, and thoroughbred industrialists. I call you industrialists because it's not a gameplay to be in the printing and publishing industry in Nigeria. And that's because all of you, whether you are the big ones, big players, or those in that angle in Shomolu area who play small. I don't think there's anybody that plays small in the printing and publishing industry in Nigeria right now. We all know what the economy has been, and you have remained resilient through it all. That's why I say a big congratulations to the ever vibrant LCCI in Lagos. My name is Remi Oladende, and I'm here representing the Honorable Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Mr. Gbenga Omotosho. Please permit me to present a speech. Speech by the Honorable Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Lagos State, Mr. Gbenga Omotosho, as the special guest speaker at the Printing, Publishing, and Allied Group Seminar of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, held today, Wednesday, 5th November, 2025, at the Henry Fajemirokun Hall, Commerce House, Victoria Island, Lagos. It gives me great pleasure to join you today at this very important seminar organized by the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, specifically the Printing, Publishing, and Allied Group. The LCCI has remained a trusted voice of the organized private sector and a consistent partner in shaping conversations that drive economic development, job creation, and national competitiveness. Today's theme, Nigeria's printing industry, unlocking opportunities, overcoming challenges, speaks directly to the heart of an industry that has historically played a critical role in information dissemination, knowledge transfer, and the preservation of culture and identity. The printing and publishing industry remains one of the oldest sectors in Nigeria, in Nigeria's creative economy. Yet, despite its long-standing presence, it faces significant challenges from high production costs, import dependency on paper and ink, to digital disruption and inconsistent policy support. However, within these challenges lie immense opportunities. The growing literacy rate, expanding media landscape, and the rise of local content policies have created new demand for quality print materials, packaging, branding, and publishing services. The industry's potential to generate employment, promote innovation, and contribute to GDP growth is enormous if properly harnessed. As the commercial heartbeat of Nigeria and home to the largest concentration of printers, publishers, and creative professionals, Lagos State understands the value of this sector. Under the leadership of Governor Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, our administration has continued to promote policies that enable enterprise, strengthen business confidence, and enhance the ease of doing business. Through the Teams Plus agenda, particularly under the Making Lagos a 21st Century Economy pillar, the state government is investing in digital transformation, entrepreneurship support, and a creative industry growth, all of which align with the future of printing and publishing. The Ministry of Information and Strategy continues to partner with local printing firms in producing quality government publications, promotional materials, and educational content with an intentional preference for local capacity where quality and standards are met. We're also exploring innovative communication strategies that blend both the traditional print with digital platforms to ensure exclusive access to information. To truly unlock the opportunities in the sector, we must foster stronger collaboration between the government, industry players, the academia, and financial institutions. Access to funding, adoption of new technologies, and skills development are vital for competitiveness. And this is why engagements such as today's seminar are extremely crucial, as this provides a platform for frank dialogue, shared learning, and the co-creation of sustainable solutions. I encourage all stakeholders here to look beyond the challenges and identify actionable action pathways to reposition the sector for global relevance. We did same for the state-owned printing corporation that is now the cynosure of all eyes in the printing industry. Despite several limiting challenges, we stood firm in our resolve and transformed that corporation to what it is today. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the printing and publishing industry is not just a business. It is the lifeblood of information, culture, and education. A vibrant and competitive printing ecosystem supports the creative economy, promotes literacy, and drives national development. As a government, the Lagos State government will continue to provide the enabling environment that encourages innovation, local content, and professional excellence. Let us therefore seize this moment to reimagine the future of printing and publishing in Nigeria, a future where local capacity meets global standards, where creativity meets technology, and where our collective commitment drives sustainable growth. I thank the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and particularly the Printing, Publishing, and Allied Group for the invitation and for your steadfast contributions to the economy of our state and nation. Together, we can continue to build a smarter and more prosperous Lagos. Thank you and God bless you. Ìgbéga ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó, àjùmọ̀ṣe gbogbo wa ni o.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mrs. Remilekun Oladende. Your speech would have been incomplete without that last phrase. It is the phrase or caveat of the current administration of the state that Ìgbéga ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó ó ti di àjùmọ̀ṣe gbogbo wa. Thank you so much for sticking to that. Right now, we need to move to the what I call the main meat of today's discussion, which is the panel session. Out with this role, so I will bring up the moderator. Don't forget I said that you can walk up to the last part at the back of this hall to pick your tea, which is very necessary. So I'll bring up the moderator, who will then call up the discussant for a very good, robust session today. Thereafter, we will take question and answers, interact and engage with us. So I will urge us to please note your questions as they are, as the panel session is ongoing. I will decide which method we use later, either to give you the microphone to raise your questions or you write them out. We'll get to that in a minute. Please join me to welcome today past president of CIPRON, Mr. Oluwagbemi Malomo. Let's put down together for Malomo, please. So, then you pour them all.
Thank you very much. I've had 3 names today. Olugbenga, Olugbemi, but everything is revolving around God, which is good. So we can't miss it with God. Today we are here to do something very important. The theme for today's panel discussion is unlocking opportunities and overcoming challenges. In our industry, we face various challenges, from infrastructure to skill to importation challenges to even on healthy competition. But we believe today the panelists we have here will be able to provide solution to all these challenges. I would like to therefore invite to take the seat among the panelists, the Managing Director of Academy Press, Mr. Olugbenga Oladipo. Can we put our hands together as they come forward? You're welcome, sir. Also, as part of the panelists, we have the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of AFCA Printing and Publishing, Dr. Mrs. Florence Adeshola Falahi. Let's put our hands together. It's important that we are gender sensitive. You know, very soon we are going to have a Nigerian president that will be a woman. If you believe it, say amen. Meanwhile, when it was said, the person beside me said I was not saying amen. I think I've caught up with it. We shall surely have that. Also, we have the representative of the General Manager of Lagos State Printing Corporation. The name, it carries a name that you cannot easily forget. Even if I don't know any other part of his name, I know it's Tinubu. So let's welcome Mr. Tinubu. I am sure all our deliberation, he will take it to the man himself. Also, as part of the panelists, we have the MD and CEO of Sterling Book Nigeria Limited, Mrs. Folashade Shinkaye. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Thank you. Let's put our hands together for her, please. We have also, I think, the representative of the MD and CEO of Bank of Industry. Are they here? Okay, the representative of MD, CEO of Bank of Industry. Can we have you, please? I will need to look at her name. You know, without money, we cannot talk. If we start this conversation and we don't include money, everything we'll be doing will just be talking. So, madam, you are welcome. I will believe your presence here will help us greatly. Okay, Mrs. Ibi Toru Ubosi, Group Head, Agro Processing, Large Enterprise Directory, Bank of Industry. You are welcome.
Okay.
Okay.
So this person.
Yeah, I'm mentioning. Okay, thank you very much. If you permit me to stand up, I'll be more comfortable standing up. Yeah, I'll be more comfortable standing up. From all the paper presentation we have had today, right from the president of LCCI, everything he has said, everything that everybody has said, there has been a reoccurring decima. And that reoccurring decima is paper. Paper. Paper is one of our biggest raw material in our industry. And recently, I'm going to throw the first question on paper. Recently, just this week, the president of Nigeria announced a policy of tariff on importation of fuel, 15% tariff on importation of fuel. And the reason for that is to be able to promote local growth. Now, and one good thing about that tariff was that it was only for a period of 1 month first. My first question is, how do we ensure that our local paper industry survive? Because paper is one of our major raw material. And my question will go to the MD of Academy Press. How do we ensure that our local paper industry, the conversation has always been, we don't have a paper industry, now we have one. So how do we ensure that the local paper industry survive? And we have another, okay, thank you, sir.
Well, thank you, moderator. And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's also my pleasure to be in the midst of the giants of the industry today, and also to be part of this engagement. Well, the question about how do we ensure that the paper industry survives is a combination of so many things. But let me say that the presenters today, they have done justice in highlighting the challenges of the industry and also giving us solution to those challenges. But we have to understand the entirety of what should make this industry to survive before we can talk about the survival of the local paper industry. And I think that if the industry survive, that is the panacea for the paper industry itself to survive. Some of the things that have been highlighted in terms of the challenges, we've talked about the importation, we talk about the digital transformation. We didn't dwell too much on that, which I feel is something that we also have to dwell much about. But in addition to what has been listed, we also have to look at what roles is this industry playing in the economy. And from my experience, I've observed that the industry thrives on the prospect of the economy. When the economy is good, we seem not to notice the problem. But the moment the economy is going bad, we then begin to feel the impact first. And that is to tell us that this industry is very fragile, is sensitive to the economy. And when the economy affects the nation or the people in the nation, it affects the economy of our industry. The point that I want to make here is that
1 minute, sir.
the challenges that have been made, that have been mentioned, we need to rank them and say which one actually affect us most. A lot was talked about the importation of print materials. And I think the Industrial Association should do a lot of analysis to find out to what extent the importation of finished product is affecting us. Because if we can tackle the most important problem, then we'll tackle the survival of our own industry, and then we'll tackle the survival of the value chain. It's not only about paper. If the industry thrives, what will happen? We see more investors not only coming in establishing paper mills, we see investors establishing ink, consumables, and even machinery. Because if we don't have a thriving market, you can't have establishment of some of these industry. So if we tackle our problems, we'll tackle the survival of the paper industry. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's put our hands together. We'll set a bit of ground rules. We have very limited time, so the questions will just be for 2 minutes. Yeah, we're picking, a lot of challenges have been highlighted, and we're picking it one after the other. You know, when we're singing our national anthem, one word that jumped to my face is "in brotherhood we stand." In brotherhood we stand. We have today, we have printers, we have publishers here. How can we work together in brotherhood? For instance, let's look at book. In Nigeria, annually we publish about 2 billion books. Some of these books are printed outside the shore of Nigeria for various reasons. So I want to ask Mrs. Shinkaye, how can we stand together in brotherhood to ensure that as part of our survival, that all the things we produce locally, the things we use locally are produced locally, particularly in reference to book? Two minutes.
I think basically is a word of encouragement, I would say, in the area of books for publishers especially, and of course the general consumers of prints, to ensure that there's local production and they are using the services of local productions. I know in our private discussions we talked about this. First, the driving force is price. Usually, you find that if you have bulk printings to do, and you can get, very good rates, you may find at the end of the day that price is the driving factor, plus quality of production that makes people to go out to do their printing, even though they know they will still have to come back to the cumbersome issues of clearing their goods and transporting them and all of that. So yes, for us, it's just like maybe in some past governments where they say patronize made in Nigeria goods. I think that is also still the current policy. First is for us to agree that that's the policy for us, that that's what we want to do. If we are all within the same market, then we will not have to worry too much about price, because everybody will be getting about the same price, and therefore will give to their customers within those price ranges. So I think it needs to be a policy issue. And we also need to encourage our printers to give us quality products. I think if you ask the publishers, you'll find that there are experiences where you are patronizing local printers and the quality that you are getting is affecting your own market. If your schools are rejecting your books because the quality is poor, you are not likely to do so the next time. So let's encourage also the printers to give it the quality and the standard that the publishers expect. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Still on this question, I'm going to ask two-fold question. Still on the paper, sorry, still on books. You know, it's on record that foreigners comes to our local shore to canvass for printing of book, and they give up to 120 days credit for the publisher to patronize them. Meanwhile, over here is a difficult thing for us because we need to import paper. The paper we import carries a duty. The paper they are going to bring in, because it is book, doesn't carry any duty. They bring it in free of charge. So that means that they have a competitive advantage. So my twofold question is, and this, the first one go to the Bank of Industry. We have a challenge. How can we have a comfort, local comfort, that can make us to be able to compete with foreigners when they come, and their national home gives them resources that they can give our local printers here up to 120 days credit, which is an advantage for us. So that's my first question for you. The second question will go to Mr. Tinubu. While she's answering that, I just wanted to prove her on it. How can we now use regulation? I mentioned something about the president. He just said, you know what? We are putting 15% tariff on people that are importing petrol so that local industry can survive. So I want to ask you also, what policy or regulation can help us to also attain our aim? First question, please.
Okay, so good morning, everyone, and thank you for this seminar. So I'm representing the Bank of Industry, all protocols observed. So with respect to your question, you rightly said they have that competitive advantage in that their home country or their home trade is giving them the 180 days or 120 days letters of credits for them to enable, ease of doing their business or bringing in the finished product here. For us in Bank of Industry, what we try to do, of course, we are a DFI, and our main purpose is basically to finance at a reasonable rate, which would definitely bring down the costs in terms of whoever we are financing. So what we do, or what we try to do, is identify some of these companies of which we already have one or two collaborations with, understand the business, provide advisory services as well as provide finance. And we all know what this finance is in terms of the interest rate. So that in itself lowers the cost of production, or should lower the cost of production. We know that bringing in some of these machineries and things are very cost incentive, very cumbersome as well. But our main aim is to ensure that the companies that qualify for these funds have that competitive advantage, in that, yes, that other the foreign investors or the foreign FDI is bringing in, a bit cheaper. They are also able to produce, their production costs is also able to reduce and enable them compete in the market adequately. So we are there to provide this finance, and we have also done that in some areas. There's also policy side where, yes, it's still an import. And like you rightly said at the beginning of this, that the federal government just announced the imports duty on petroleum products. That can also help in this aspect to encourage indigenous companies to produce and enable them have that competitive advantage. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, before your question, in your intro, you are head of what again?
Agro-processing, which encompasses textiles, printing, publishing. Yes.
She has answered my life, because I wanted to find out when we are going to have a sectorial funding from Bank of Industry, because our industry is peculiar.
Yes.
It's peculiar, is not the same thing as agriculture, and it's a very, very huge industry. So
True.
We hope that you can help us to develop a product that is specific to our needs. Thank you very much. Can we have you, sir?
Thank you very much. Once again, my name is Kayode Tinubu. I represent the general manager of Lagos State Printing Corporation, an agency of government that is into printing, and I'm privileged to be here. We're talking about, I've listened diligently to various papers that have been presented, and I've come to realize that we all know the problems. We know that the industry has huge potentials, but we have a lot of challenges. And all of these challenges boil down to the fact that there are no policy regulations to encourage local production. Lagos State Printing Corporation today is a lot different from what it used to be yesterday. Lagos State Printing Corporation today is a hub of printing jobs, printing businesses. Patronage is high and machines are top notch and all of that. But we still run on deficit when it comes to consumables, paper products, other consumables that we use. But all of this can be helped if only policies are in place. And I bet to say, even as a lawyer, that there are so many policies that are already in place, but the will to enforce them is the challenge. Talking about all of these tariffs that are being reduced to encourage local production, I recall that about 6-7 years ago, before the coming of Governor Babatunde Raji Fashola, and now we have Governor Sanwo-Olu, who have responded so positively and so swiftly to improving the capacity of the Lagos State Printing Corporation. There was low patronage in those days. But today, we rely on importing machines, we rely on imported paper products, and they are hard to get. So when policies are put in place, it is also necessary for us to ensure that those policies are enforced by government and its agencies. For instance, before we could enjoy patronage from even government, policy directives had to be issued. And despite that, most ministries still don't patronize us. So they go out, some of them go abroad to get their materials printed, but the governor had to enforce that all government agencies must patronize the Lagos State Printing Corporation. And that's the way to go. Even at the federal level, if all these policies are enforced, I think it will be better for the industry.
Thank you very much. In his opening address, the chairman of SCCI Printing and Publishing Allied Group talked about ecosystem and he referred to the printing industry as ecosystem. My next question is for Dr. Falaye. You are an active participation in the industry. How can we attain collaboration and be able to function as a real ecosystem while we are aggressively pursuing our interests? We don't also overlook the overall interest of the ecosystem. How can we achieve that?
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. It's nice to be here. And thank you for the question. You know, when I got the invitation, the first thing that came to my mind, and I think I spoke to the person that, you know, we discussed, I said, I hope this is not marketing for individuals. I hope that, because you will bear me witness, I've always been at the forefront, you know. I've always attended every stakeholder agitation meeting, you know, almost like an activist. And I've put my face on TV, but I realized that when the dividends come, when the jobs come, we don't get. So I hope it's answering your question. I hope that we're not just marketing for individuals. And I believe, and I keep saying that in the printing industry in Nigeria, you will get your size. We have the top quality people that have the standard and all of that can match and even surpass what you get abroad. I have collaborated with some companies, and what we look for would be the companies that could give us what our clients look for in us. You would rather want to deliver something in 2 weeks than keep it to yourself and you're disappointing your clients, and in 2 months you're not delivering, you know. So I believe, and I want to canvas for the fact that look for people that represent what you want and collaborate with them. You all will be happy and your client will be happy and they will come again, you know, and you keep moving on rather than, you know, keeping it to yourself and other people are suffering. That's one. Number two, we keep talking about having, I want to talk about the paper industry, the Nixon industry. Congratulations on that. I was one of the first people that went, to see the factory. Very impressive. But my concern then, and I spoke to everybody there, if they are here, they would remember. I kept saying that I hope this won't be hijacked. We benefited from buying for a few months, and we went there, and lo and behold, they told us we couldn't buy directly again. This is retrieving from us collaboration from that end that we thought we had, where it's still not enough. But if you have it, give it to everybody. Don't give it to middlemen, because this would keep making the competition with the people over there more difficult. We won't be able to match. So what I'm saying is that there is room to collaborate. The Shomoli people can always collaborate. I remember there was a time we had a project, and we invited, because it was a simple one, we invited a lot of companies, a lot of printers from Shomolu. And I think I was a local champion then, because my name was on everybody's lips. So for me, I think we should, I'm a lawyer as well. And I know that even in law, every profession should collaborate. So in the industry, I make a joke that if you do it alone, you might choke, constipation. So I just hope this is not advertising for a few people. I hope that when the jobs start coming, because they will start coming, because they've started coming, that we all will be partakers of it. Thank you. I hope I answered your question.
Thank you very much. Still on collaboration. When I was a little kid out of secondary school, I was fortunate to go into printing in the early 80s. And one of the common things then was that people all over West African coasts, Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, come to Shomolu to print. Yes. We were once dominant. Sierra Leone, everywhere they come in to print all their books. And I've also had opportunity to interact with people that fund production of book in Africa. And they said they are looking for Nigeria to be at a position whereby all the books they print will be routed through Nigeria because of our big population and the size of our industry. Now, my question is this, and still further on collaboration. There is competition. Beyond just doing job, beyond industry building, how can we align ourselves together to ensure, first and foremost, the survival of our industry? What do we need to do? What step do we need to take? And I also want us to have a very practical step beyond just, okay, we have to do, yes, we know we have to do policy. Who is going to do that policy? Who is going to do that policy for us? So my question will go to Mr. Ladipo again. As a veteran, by the way, his company, they are over 60-year-old in Nigeria. Can we put our hands together for them? If you have survived for 60 years, before you answer, sir, Princess Company is over 50 years, from generation to generation, which shows that if we work together, we can transfer things to generation yet unborn. So how do we achieve alignment so that at the end of the day, the overall interests, our common challenges, we can come together and solve it? That's the question, sir.
Well, thank you. Yes, we achieved 60 years, and that is also to let you know that we've seen it all. I'm not sure how many companies, not to even talk of printing, that has lasted 60 years in Nigeria. There are so much challenges, and we've had a lot of failure in this industry. And we should continue to study why this is happening. Well, one of the solutions is to see ourselves as one. We have common interests, we have common purpose. If we have an enemy, it shouldn't be among us, it should be outside us. But when you have so many players, it's difficult to manage yourself. And to that extent, you need strategy of leadership constitution. So when you have that kind of situation, it will be easier for you to relate to that leadership. And in terms of leadership, I'm talking about the industrial association, like the SIPON, like SCCI that has brought us here today, like MAN, like NECA. These are associations that should formulate operational guidelines for the industry. So for us to all abide by it, and they should also have a watchdog to know who is violating those guidelines. And we should believe in that leadership. We should support the leadership. We should all be part of the leadership. Whatever they want us to do, whatever representation they want us to make, we should be there because we are serving our own interests. By coming here today, we are serving our interests, but I can tell you that the number of us that are here today, we are too few to represent the industry. This industry that we say is employing hundreds of thousands of people. And if we have to even count the number of organizations, we won't feel, I mean, this room will not fill us. But my take is that we should strengthen our organizations. We should also pursue collective interest, not personal interest. If we're able to do that, we'll formulate guidelines and policy that will help us to collaborate and collaborate well. Thank you.
Let's put our hands together. Mr. Ladipo is calling for a convocation of all interest groups. And we know that one of the oldest and most successful interest group in Nigeria is Lagos Chambers of Commerce. I want to believe that beyond just what we are doing here, SCCI will also go a step further to be able to convocate and bring together all the people that are involved in leadership so that we can build a very robust and upwardly mobile industry. We'll also take questions from members of the audience. I can see one hand up. I've not said you to raise up your hand now. Wait now. I'm still holding the mic now. I saw. Okay, we're going to take questions from members of the audience. I will ask Mr. Kasumu first. Can we, wait, sorry, can I use this? Can somebody help me? I hope the mic can travel the distance. If it cannot, we need to take 1 or 2 steps forward. Straight to the point, 1 minute.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Demola Kasumu, the CEO of Casprint. My question arises from what Mr. Tinubu just said. I want to ask this again. From what we know, what we understand is that government only get involved in policies to make business work well. Is it right that Lagos state government is involved in printing? One, I can tell you, there was a machine we got sometime, and they said the only one who got it is Lagos State. How did Lagos State get it? Just at the snap of the finger. Lagos State could authorize, or let's say invest 50 billion and take that decision within 1 week. How many of us can do that? If you now use the power of government to compete against we small ones, how do you want us to survive? From what you just said, you said there is a policy drive that, yes, all Lagos State department, blah, 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 should patronize Lagos State Corporation. If you do that, how do we survive? I can assure you, I can confirm this to you. Many agencies in Lagos State government, they come around, they want to do a seminar, give us 200 copies of program, give us 500 copies of program, give us 200 jotters, 500 jotters. It trickles down to everybody.
Thank you
But
very much.
now, if you use your power, money, everything to muzzle us down, how do we survive? So is it right that Lagos State is into printing? That's my question.
Thank you very much. You know, there are things that are legally right, and there are things that are morally right. But I want to tell us a story before you answer the question. There was a community and ecosystem of a mouse, a chicken, a pig, and a cow. Now, the owner of the house where they are just bought a mouse trap. And when the mouse saw it, he said, "Yay, my life is almost finished. Please come and help me. What can we do?" And everybody said, "Anyway, it's none of our business. Your problem is not our problem." So at the end of the day, while he was just sitting down watching, the mouse trap went off. And some of them thought that, oh, mouse is what? Is gone. Unfortunately, that mouse captured a snake. When the madam of the house was going to check, the snake was still alive, beat her by the hand, and she took ill. After a while, she had fever. And they said, "You know what? Pepper soup will be good for fever." So they came, they took the chicken, killed the chicken, and they used the chicken for pepper soup. And after a while that it did not recover, they said, "Okay, you know what? Let's use pig for pepper soup." And at the end of the day, everybody was gone. The morale is that for us to make appreciable progress, until all of us come together and acknowledge that our survival is interdependent on the other. Your answer, please.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that question. And I want to say that I will not want to tilt to any angle, whether it is right or wrong. It's not a matter of concern. But what I know is that when a government decides or desires to run seamlessly, there are some things it has to put in place. And I can tell you for free that if Lagos State government does not have a print industry as an agency, it may be difficult for the government to meet on some demands. Yes, they can just say that the president is coming to Lagos for a program tomorrow, and the governor will just call 12 midnight, and then those documents must be ready. It is only an agency that belongs to it that can drive that ad. That I am having a program tomorrow, the programs, all the paper materials must be ready. I have some of my colleagues there, they sleep in the office. Jobs can come from government, just 30, 40, 1 hour to program, and it must be delivered. And that is not to say that all government printing assignments come to Printing Corporation. Printing Corporation itself sources for patronage from outside. We are open to private, we are open to government.
Thank you.
And like I told you, we are open to private, we are open to government. We don't depend on government grants.
Thank you.
So we make our money, we pay our staff. So we drive it on our own. But the need for government, this Printing Corporation was established by Jack Hande a long time ago because he needed to ensure that his government is run seamlessly.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that answer. We're going to have conversation for this other time. Can we have Mr. Obokai for his question? I'll take how many hands? 2 more after that. Who is with the microphone? Can we pass the microphone to him, please? While your question, then thereafter, Mr. Abim Bola, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And a gentleman at the back. Oh, maybe because of your cap, I didn't see you.
Thank you very much. May I first of all introduce myself? My name is Tunde Obohai. I'm the organizer of the International Paper Publishing and Print Exhibition. And it comes up next week, 11th to 13th of November, on the sideline of the international.
Pay me for the advert.
There's no problem with that. That's part of collaboration, sir. I'd like to sincerely appreciate the Print and Publishing and Allied Group of LCCI for this occasion. Lately, I began a campaign that I called Awaken Print Again. And I said that if you don't speak out, nobody will speak for you. The printing industry has been going down and down and down in the last 2 decades. If we have to take our proper position in the economy, no problem, sir. In the economy of this nation, then we need to revive this industry. And how do we do it? You've talked about collaboration. And when the chairperson of LCCI spoke, Angel Gabriel Idahosa, let me call him an angel. He said something that was so crucial. How do we create true local value chain? That conversation is very crucial. Hear what we've just said, state government getting into printing. I don't have a problem with that. There's a reason why state government went into printing. And Alhaji Afani made mention of something very crucial. You can talk about printing, you can talk about paper, you can talk about whatever. What about the people? What about printers? There's absolute disunity. There's dysfunctionality in that sector. You can talk about take few jobs and share with printers. That's not about collaboration. It's about sharing resources. It's about empowering one another in the sector. It's about being concerned about the least person in this industry. It's about allowing the community of printing to evolve as an important sector in this nation.
Thank you very much.
And that involves everybody. It involves everybody.
Thank you very much.
And Mr. Malomo, you wrote an article. We are all in a sinking ship. If you don't do anything, it will sink and it will affect everybody.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
You know, some of the time you don't give microphone to people that are so passionate. Because their passion will always take over them. Please, you have just 1.5 minutes because of our time. He's standing here to take the mic.
Thank you very much. My name is Emmanuel Abimbola. And I have, my first question goes to BOI. Now, what is BOI doing in terms of financing publishers? Because I know that publishers hardly, there is the printing, but there is the publishing. And we have people who are core publishers, and there is no printing, without the publishing because it's a process. Now, BOI, I understand that they give loan, they give support, financial support to, those who have probably machines and what have you. Yeah, publishers, most publishers don't have machines, they don't have press, but they roll out books, especially for the education sector, education publishers. But does BOI have provision for publishers, especially the upcoming ones, to ensure that they survive, in this economy? That's one. Then the other aspect is the collaboration that we've been talking about. Now, and what we need to do in terms of collaboration, somebody mentioned, the CPON, the NECA, the LCCI that is organizing this fantastic program. And then we also have the Nigerian Publishers Association. These associations should come together to drive policies with government. And because we do not have policies that are functional, for example, there is no national book policy that is functional in Nigeria. We've been talking about it, theoretically, there has been drafted several years, but up to now, there is no book policy. And if we don't have a policy from government, then we continue to have problems in the publishing and print industry. So there is a need for all of us should come together,
thank you very much,
to drive these policies. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I have the power to remove the mic? So the question you have asked for her, I think she has also answered. That question has kind of been asked before. Am I right? Or you have something else you want to add to it? Okay.
So good morning once again. Just as an addendum to what I had earlier mentioned, by virtue of our mandates, we basically fund machinery and plants. However, there are some collaborations we can do. There's the SME part, and there are some grants that can be given to the publishers. We fund machinery. Our focus is growth, development, economic growth. The focus is on machinery and plant, the heavy lifting, the heavy duties, to create the opportunities for the smaller tranches in the business. However, under the SMEs, under the grants, the publishers, the publishing can come in. So yes, we collaborate, but our mandate is basically on machinery, manufacturing, plant, equipment, requisition and all. But like I said, on the SME part, on the grants, we can, the publishing and the publishers can be covered under that forum. Thank you.
Thank you very much. One of the resonating words is collaboration, collaboration. Please, we must not leave here without allowing that to sink into us. Can we have the gentleman at the end there 1 minute, then thereafter our brother from Niger Delta? Or Niger Delta Cap.
Thank you very much. My name is Alex Kemena. My question is on the pulp industry. 30 years ago, we have Okwiboku in Cross River State or Akwa Ibom State. We have the Iwokwe paper mill at Ogun State here, and we also have Jeba paper mill. In that period, in the last 30 years, those three major paper industries have become completely comatose. What are we doing to resuscitate and revitalize those big industries that have been allowed to go under in the last 30 years? That's my question.
Thank you very much. I'll answer that. Let the dead bury their dead. Over the years, we've also had new industry emerging and manufacturing paper locally. And they are part of the sponsor of this program. Nixon here is manufacturing paper locally. And I know that their capacity is about 100,000 tons of paper annually. We still need more. And that was the reason I asked the first question, that how do we encourage, because we've had conversation in the past where everybody sat together to see how we can patronize them, because it's not easy to come and invest locally. So I think policy will help us, and that policy will also still start with collaboration. When all of us, our problem will be solved when all of us come together and put our industry first. Thank you very much. Your question, sir? Can we give him the mic, please? Thank you.
Good day, all protocol duly observed. My name is Henry Anyao, and I'm a principal partner with Sunshine Printing and Branding Agency. We've spoke about piracy, collaboration, local production, import tariff, sourcing of raw materials. It's a nice one for us to have this thing time and time over again. But I feel the basic fundamental thing we should be discussing is how to create a favorable policies, because every government runs in policies. Policies can take you from being a tier 1 industry to tier 3. You downgrade. It is the policies that affect everything we do. And mostly, entrepreneurs are the basic founders and foundation that drives the GDP of most countries, apart from different sectors, oil and gas, agri, and all those things. Now, as an entrepreneur, my question is, how can we have a favorable policy that we can come in, compete, and still generate something for the government? We have issues. Number one, when we could talk about how we operate, rental space is a problem. Increment is going on. All these things should be checked because it's a factor that affects everything
Thank
from
you
scratch.
very much. Thank you. Thank you. You made your point. Yes. Policy, policy, policy. Now, this policy is beginning to sound like a magic wand that will turn the fortune of our industry around. But the truth is that we do have policies. Without implementation, without serious industry advocacy, policy will continue to be policy. No, I'm not referring to, I'm referring generally. Your point is well noted, we need policy. We need policy without any doubt. I'm just saying, and buttress your point also, that policy will not work until the industry cooperates together. Let me give you an instance. Up to today, the policy of government says when you bring in imported book, because they are classified as education material, is free of duty. And some people bring all sorts of things and they classify it as import educational material and they get away with it. Meanwhile, we look, and this is a conversation we've been having for 10 years. We locals will buy paper, will pay duty, we cannot compete. Let me tell us, until we collaborate, if we agree, we have commissioned LCCI to help us, bring as an umbrella, a neutral umbrella to bring everybody together so that we can determine how our businesses will be run. So without any doubt, policy is important, but most importantly also, implementation is key. And without advocacy, nobody will do anything. Thank you very much. Your question, sir. Okay, the chairman want to speak on that. Can we give him the mic, please? Okay, you can use mine. My appeal is for us to use this forum as an opportunity to come together as printers. We have a SIPON, the president is here, the professional body. We also have the Printing, Publishing and Allied Group of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Within the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, there's an advocacy group that when you have issue that you want to take to the government, this advocacy group has the relevant contact with the government, with the key government agencies and to push forward your position. So I want to appeal to all of us here. In fact, I belong to SIPON, an active member. I'm a member of the Printing and Publishing Group, but I'm seeing a lot of very big printers here today that I'm meeting for the first time. Can we please seize this opportunity to register with these two bodies so that our voice can be heard? Please, it's an appeal. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's put our hands together for him. Your question, sir.
Thank you.
After this question, we're going to go back to the panelists. We want to talk about business development. How can we unlock opportunities in our industry and make our industry better? Your question, sir.
Thank you. Morning all, or good afternoon. Now, Bamishile is the name from Smart Distributors. We are discounting the new innovation in internet and digital prints. But the basic thing is still paper, because even when you have assignments in school or wherever, you still have to download and print out on paper. Now, let the government have a commission created to handle printing issues. Create a separate commission by the federal government. This umbrella will cover all collaborations we're talking about and all networking and all whatnot. So if we have a printing commission, it will go deep into solving a lot of problems. That's number one. Number two, it will take the likes of Dangote to create an enabling printing and paper mill industry. Because even Dangote knows what he's facing presently with all the money he borrowed and all the input that he put into the refinery, they are still fighting him left and right to make sure they bring in imports to counter him. Because I know one of the major oil companies, the MD or chairman specifically said they prefer to import than buy from him. So let us know the problem we have. If you say deforestation and you are saying they should not cut down trees because we know the raw materials, we have it in abundance in Nigeria. Let the commission handle all these things. They will set the policies and they will create the environment for us to thrive. Thank you.
Thank you very much for what you have said. Well, put our hands together for him once again. He's advocating for a commission. We have an institution established by an act of parliament. If you know how big that is, established by act of parliament for the regulation and control and managing of printing, which is pari passu like a commission. But the challenge we've had is that there has been infighting. And this has not delivered on its promise. But you see, all of us here, by the grace of God, I'm just a small boy from Shomolu, and printing enabled me to be able to see the rest of the world in various ways. There are many of us that are seated here today that because of this printing, you are where you are. Will it be too much if we begin to ask that this is about time for you to begin to give back to the industry? It's not just about what you are taking from it, but what you are giving back. We have all the tools we need. And I think it's very important for us, for the sake of what we have done, for the sustainability of the industry, for all of us to come together, put our differences aside. Thank you very much. We're going to business development. How can we strengthen our industry? You know, one of the things I've noticed in this industry is that we're just competing for government contract. So when you're taking contract from a government, and when a king comes that doesn't know Moses, he will remove you. Another person would come. But you see, there are some people that have been very smart among us. There have been people that are foreigners. They come into areas that we're not even thinking of. You know, government talks about knockdown. If you look at automobile, for instance, you can't bring a old car. You bring the knockdown parts. Will it be too much as a form of business development to use policy or regulation to ensure that if you are bringing anything that is printing related, maybe you are bringing pharmaceutical drugs to Nigeria, you don't come with the package. You understand? You don't come with the package so that the locals, so that the locals can do that. So my question to the panelists and anybody that volunteer, how can we strengthen our industry in terms of business development, being innovative and doing things that will promote our businesses? It's open to anybody. Doctor.
Thank you. The first step is the fact that we are here. And I congratulate the organizers again for that. We'll keep talking about networking, collaboration, brainstorming sessions like this. And somebody mentioned maybe training school or whatever, training and all of that. And, you know, we cannot take away the fact that we're in an environment where connection matters. But maybe the connection should be for the common good rather than for individuals. So I would say that, and we treat the business of printing like any other business, you know, where you generate your leads, where you do your marketing, where you do your due diligence. And when you run it as a business, you will know which to pick, which to leave, which to pass on. And but we should be selfless. it shouldn't be winners take all. Even when people are saying the printing is dwindling, some people are really smiling to the bank. So what I would just say is that we just let go a bit for others, but this gathering would help us. Let's talk. What machines do you have? What do I need? I know that I don't want to mention names, but I've benefited from this kind of things, you know, in this room. And whether I'm there or not, because they know that there is that competence, there is that service to render, they would use it. So if we could do that a lot more, you know, if you are a good printer, I'll print very well for you. Then you take it maybe for someone that is good in packaging. So we will keep doing this. Then I want to say also that we should think about private-public partnership. That helps a lot. That boosts businesses. In this paper sector we're talking about, in the machinery sector, you know, I'm sure that the BOI would want to listen to us when we come as a group than as individuals. That makes things easy for you because we just come with our representatives and paperwork will be together. And so I believe that when we think of running as a business rather than as individual interest, we would be better off. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please go ahead.
Sorry, I just wanted to add something. So like we've mentioned here and all the speakers have mentioned, that word collaboration, it's so important. Yes, some people have the advantage of getting huge contracts, but there's a whole value chain. And if it starts with one person and trickles down, then that whole value chain is covered. You can even give yourselves credit, 30 days recyclable credit, you know, that one aspect can offer to the other aspect to just enable the business to go, you know, not necessarily just depending on the imports or complaining about the imports. If within the circle, within the ecosystem, there's collaboration and one business or one aspect of the publishing or printing can, you know, add value to the other, both backwards and forwards in terms of integration, I think a lot will be covered and there will be more value that we can see. Yeah.
Thank you very much. We are going to round up, but just before that, I have a question. So, one of the reasons why, among other reasons, you can't compete with local people is because of paper issue. Now, the paper issue to some extent has been solved because we're actually manufacturing paper in Nigeria. So my thinking is this, particularly in the banking industry, how can we have a tripartite agreement? For anything we do in printing, paper takes more than 50%. Can anybody confirm that? More than 50%. So that's the major thing. 75 is more than 50. Abi? Okay, so can we have a tripartite agreement between the banking industry, the people that are manufacturing paper, and the customer, whereby we can have a seamless flow of operation? What I'm saying is that because I'm going to buy paper from these people, and we have a situation whereby if we have products, we go to them, and the bank also gives a bit of comfort. They release paper to us. The money comes to the bank for viable projects. Shouldn't we be thinking about that to be able to help an industry that has more than 10 million in its entire value chain? Yeah.
Just to add that's what she's mentioned. If you can come together to the Bank of Industry so that we know we're together. Because if we finance a particular aspect, let's say the paper side now, we do not know the other company. Do you understand? So that's why so if you know the business, that's why I mentioned I can offer credit on your own engagement with that company. However, if you can come together to the Bank of Industry, like the former speaker mentioned, then we can see what we can work with. However, on your own too, if we've advanced credit to a particular, the paper side, they also know the publishing side, they know the value chain. They can also advance, that credit to them on their own basis or based on the fact that they know them or already have an agreement with them or some form of, transactions with them. Yeah.
Just one moment. What she has said again is another definition of collabo.
Thank you. So I just want to put reality to what we are saying here. We've been, and this is addressed to you, madam. Printing is a low margin business. And banks have told us that they may not be interested in printing because it doesn't give the kind of volume they want. So what I want to say is that, is there a way, because we've had applications, we had consultants, and the percentage, 1%, 2% is too much for us. So your desk, ma'am, can you, like he said, I'm talking from a practical point of view, can we have a kind of concession, as your own support, collaboration with this industry that is employing a lot of people? That's one. Then I was going to say that it's good that BOI is there, but I would have thought somebody from the ministry, that oversees our business should have been on this panel so that they would tell us what they're doing, because we're talking now, we will take it back to them, and it's not going to make an impact as if, madam, you are here now, I'm sure you're going to go back and work on this. But if we had someone, so I believe this is going to be a series of discussion. So please, the next one, we want to put we kept talking about policy, and the policymakers are not here, on this seat. So please, I would just encourage that we have them here. If they're doing something, let us know so that our mind is at rest. And if they're not doing something, they go back and do something. Thank you.
I'm going to give the audience, the panelists, 1 minute for your final remark before we close the meeting. Just 1 minute. She has had that remark. Thank you for that remark. So for the others, 1 minute, quickly.
I have the mic already, so. Well, in addition to this particular area of discussion, from my experience, also know that the banks and the financial institutions, they don't understand us enough. And that is why they behave negatively to our request. I think we cannot force them to come and assist us unless we are able to advocate from our institutions so that we educate them, we get them to understand us. It's a lifelong business. Yes, low margin, but it survives. And people will pay back. And we've always paid. So they should understand us and be able to support us.
Thank you very much.
That will be helpful.
They've always been paying. That's why they're 60-year-old.
Well, let me quickly say that with a population of about 250 million people in Nigeria, the potentials are huge. The market is wide. We only need to do our homework on 2 fronts. 1, government policy. 2, inner collaboration, which we have been talking about. I'm happy to hear that we have an institute already, which is enabled by law. If it's a chartered institute, we can go for an academy and begin to certify people that are in the printing business. And then we can also regulate their activities.
Thank you, sir. Final remark?
My final remark is that I'm surprised that in all our discussions, there is nowhere where we have mentioned the Creative Investment Finance Initiative, which the creative industry, as they have been described, have access to billions of credits from government between the Central Bank of Nigeria and the Bank of Industry. And we here today, I believe the president of SCCI described printing and publishing as the creative industry. How come we are not accommodated in that program with billions of naira available to the movie industry, the music industry, and the tech industry. Our business is also a tech industry. How come we are not accommodated? How come we are not discussing it? How come we are not making presentations to government? How come we are not coming together as CPON and MPA and all the various groups come together and advocate for our problems? Whenever I'm invited for this kind of programs, I have issues. I'm excited and I'm depressed at the same time, because we come, we talk about all our problems and we don't really take concrete steps to solve them. I hope that at the end of this program that we are going to take concrete steps to solve the problems that we have identified.
Thank you very much. I'll just give somebody from the audience, just one person, to close remark. I'll give it to Cass. Can we have the mic for him?
Thank you very much. Just 30 seconds. Our gathering here today is so fruitful, but if we can go away with just one thing there, it will be mutually beneficial and everybody will be happy. And what is it? We should all advocate that government place tariffs on printed matters. Jobs that ought to go outside will trickle down everybody. I would tell you, as big as many organizations are printing, I don't want to mention it, we still beg each other for support when we are choked. So you can imagine if there's tariff on printed matters and the job is all over. Even the small one we get it, there are some jobs that we reject. Take it to the next person like that. So if we can advocate for that tariff, that would be good for us too.
Thank you. The gentleman refused to put his hand down. 30 seconds. He refused to put his hand down. I want to be fair to all. No,
Thank you very much. I want to appreciate the organizers of this event and the moderator and the chairman and every other person. My name is Atanda Joseph, but people call me Atares, the chairman of ASPON Agege. It's a pleasure being here today. Grant, I just want to challenge the big guys on seat here. We have Academic Press here. We have Mrs. Okeowo here. We have Marvelous Mind. We have Yaliam here. And K is here. A lot of others. Why don't we come together? We are talking of collaboration, collaboration, and collaboration. Where is the institute that is binding us together, that is controlling the affairs of this something? Because we are having rancor in that institute. Why don't we come together and work this thing out? It's a challenge to all the big guys here. Let us come together and find lasting solution to this. Then we can then go to BOI and discuss.
Then put your hands together for him. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to round up in 2 minutes. In his opening remark, the chairman of LCCI, when he was describing government agency in the value chain of printing, did mention Ministry of Industry, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Finance. He mentioned all those ministries. And somebody also asked a question here that we're having a conversation. Where is the ministry representing us? The chairman of LCCI, logically, from what he has seen and he has heard and he knows, he mentioned all those ministries. But you know what? He did not mention the ministry representing us. Maybe, just maybe we're in the wrong ministry. Because printing is a manufacturing industry. In a strictest sense, it's a manufacturing industry. Policy are being made by Ministry of Industry. But we are, they didn't, even our act did not mention that Ministry of Information is our ministry. No, it did not. We took ourselves like this. We went to them and said, you are our ministry. I think we need to critically look at this, because if we are going to make headway, we need the Ministry of Industry. By some of the effort that people have done in the industry, even the Ministry of Industry has also created a printing, pulp, and paper section. Everything we need is set. The stage is set for us to make change. Are we ready to be part of that change? Thank you very much for having us. I hope that all that we have done here, we'll take it back home and make something meaningful come out of it.
Thank you so much. The moderator, thank you so much. Panelists, able discussant, please don't go away. I will need to bring the chair and the DG of the Secretary of the Chamber to make a presentation for us on this note. Let me respectfully call on the Director General of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, who at this point is representing the President of the Chamber, to make this presentation on behalf of the Chamber, joined by the Chair of the Publishing and Printing and Allied Group of the Secretariat. Please let me have the plaque one by one, please. Bring it out of the pack and let me have it. Just give me the Taye, can you give me one of the plaques? Just give me one. This is to Mr. Olugbenga Oladipo. Let's put our hands together for Mr. Olugbenga Oladipo, the MD of Academic Press. Yes, Mr. Chair. Let's move closer, please. Thank you. Thank you. Next is Mrs. Folashade Shinkaye, yes, okay. Shinkaye, MDC of Sterling Books Nigeria Limited. Please step forward, ma'am. Thank you. Mr. Chair, move closer. Don't be afraid. Thank you. Next is Dr. Mrs. Florence A. Falaye. Let's put hands together for Dr. Mrs. For our moderator, Mr. Oluwagbemi Malomo. Let's put hands together for Mr. Malomo. Yes. The last panelist, please. Honorable Dr. Kolaole Peregrino, right? General Manager, Lagos Printing and Corporation. Let's have him, please. Representative, yes. Thank you, sir. Oosh. Okay, Mr. Tinubu. Thank you. The representative of the MDC of BOI, Dr. Olashupo Olusi. Please, let's have you. Thank you, ma'am. So after this, we will have all of us take a role with in a picture with the DG. Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Please, let's all, can we be up standing, please, as we take a group photograph with the DG? So, Madam DG, can we just take a step? Thank you. Mr. Chair? BOI? Yes. Shizi, are we good? Madam, please, let's make welcome the former chair of the Printing and Publishing Allied Group of the SCCI, Princess Funlayo Okewo. Please join us, ma'am. Yes, I'm bringing you up much earlier before my planned time. Yes, okay. Please come here, ma'am. Come to this place, ma'am. I'd like to do your no. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Madam DG, please, you still need to. Another set of presentation. So you can. Yeah, so this is the panels. I'm doing another set now. Okay, yes. Princess, please hold on. Okay, first, as a special guest of honor today, we have Princess Layo Bakara, MDC of FAE. Please take your honor, ma'am. Let's sit down, please. Let's have a seat. For the representative of the Honorable Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Lagos State, we have our sister, Mrs. Remilekun Oladende. Let's put hands together for the representative of the Commissioner, please, as she takes her medal. So she'll be here. Please, yes, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, man. Just don't go, man. Just yes. Next is the Chair and CEO of Yalin Press Limited, Alhaji Yaya Amfani, represented here today by our sister Precious Eju. Let's put hands together for Madam Precious. Let's clap for Precious, please. So just before you go, I need to take this photo before we take the last set. Let's step a bit forward, man. Madam DG, so you have to be in the middle now. Yes. Be with the commissioner. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Princess, where is yours? Please, where is Princess plaque? Please, I see all dividing the house. Can we please sit down? Can we please sit down, please? Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you very much, man. Thank you. Please, let's give them the cover. The last set, the last set. This set for our sponsors, we have Marvelous Mike Press Limited. Let's have the representative of Marvelous. Yes. Please, can we sit down? I don't like the way the hall is becoming a bit rowdy. Please, let's have a seat. This program is still on. Comrade, let's have a seat, sir. Thank you. Next is another sponsor, CAS Print Limited. Let's clap for CAS, please. Wow. So, thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Next, the representative of Superfloss International Limited. Let's have the representative, Mrs. Iretolua Banjo.
Look at this former staff. I won't be the present staff.
Thank you. Next, Nezin Paper Mill Nigeria Limited. Nezin Paper Mill Yes, Nissin paper mill. Okay, Nissin paper mill. Thank you. I don't know. Thank you for your support. Thank you so much.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. So my job is really very easy to say thank you to all of you. First, let me thank the leadership of the group for putting this event together. I also want to thank all the sponsors. Without them, the event would not have happened. But more importantly, if they sponsored and you didn't show up, it would have been difficult to have an event. So I want to say thank you to all of you. Please put your hands together for yourself. Please give yourself a round of applause. You're not sounding convinced. Please, can you clap for yourselves? Thank you very much. At the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, for us is to facilitate that platform for industries to have a conversation, but also to engage with the regulators. So I said to the chair earlier that it would be good for us to have a communique from this event, all the things that we have agreed, collaboration, good policies, implementation, so we can put them all together and present them to the regulator so that we can begin to see traction within this sector. I want to thank you all for being here. And when we call again, please do show up. God bless you and have a good afternoon.
Thank you so much, Madam DG. Just before I will hand over the microphone to, what's the name? Kunle Ogunjobi, we like to have, for a close of this event, the national anthem. We actually started with it. It's our custom at SCCI to always close with it. Please, let's be upstanding as we take for a close the national anthem. Please, let's be upstanding, please. One house, national anthem.
Right hand tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. My gentle and proud to serve our sovereign fatherland.
Thank you so much. Just to make this an announcement, while we are taking the photograph, please be mindful of your phones, your iPen, your iPhone, your iPad, your everything. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you, everyone. We are taking group photographs now. We'll take the first 6 tables. If we can do that very quickly. It's memorable to keep this from the LCCI PPA. We would like to take group photographs of everyone that is here. Can we come up? But we won't be able to take everyone at the same time. So we take the first